Happy day one, Marchus Annus. Just got off of work, so I'm pretty tired. The first video, the preview video, is up, and tonight, while I'm still awake, I'm gonna go read through this and make a list of the various supplies that I will need for each project, and go through the supplies that I already have, and tomorrow I'll get to work on clearing the space, I think. Let's see. Day 2, me not knowing how a camera works, and no makeup on. Oh dear. Still working through the book, putting my list together. I was falling asleep working on it last night, and I'm probably going to fall asleep again. Hopefully I'll finish it. I will finish it. Day 3. And I've gathered some of the supplies that I already have collected. Some of it has been collected from over the years, last few years to be exact. And some things that I got recently when I was doing initial preparations for this. Well, start with what I kind of had collected previously. I have a stack of shirts that I was going to do some reverse dyeing with. I have this hat as sort of an option for an alternative to doing the shoes, because I have not yet found shoes that I think will work. So far they've all just been too cheap and not great for the feet. As you can see, got some painter's tape just in case I do. Painter's tape is always handy. Let's see, got some good cotton napkins. I can always get some more. I need to get a tablecloth. Forgot to get that today. I'll have to get that tomorrow maybe. Got a package of shirts. One of the projects requires 2 large t-shirts, so I'll have one extra here to do something with. Some extra rubber bands of different thicknesses and sizes, you know, just play around a little bit. Finally found some cotton scrunchies. Thought about getting 2, but they only have 1, so got a couple of cotton headbands, just in case. Got 3 bandanas to play around with as well. Some good old sugar and cream yarn for working up the tassels and pom-poms that are in here. Yeah. This is just an old top that I had that has this one little spot that looks like a splash of something with bleach in it, or I don't know, some weird medication got on it and bleached it out. So that one will definitely be the project for reverse tie-dye. And found another one, it's really cool hoodie. It's very soft. So I'm looking forward to seeing what other colors pop up with this one. Might even go back and get another one, they're so soft. Have my apron. Yes, I know it's green. I thought about getting a white one just to mess up, but nah. This one by the end will probably be a work of art itself. One white t-shirt that I just kind of had collected. Got the split rings for the macrame project. Got 2 tote bags for the tote bag project that's in here. For Rit dye, I hadn't realized that this is what I got. It was the Dye More. I just don't know if I will actually have materials to use this on. Yeah. I know for the project in the book it calls for, I think, green or peach color, something like that. But I saw royal purple and I was like, oh, gotta get that. And got some color stay dye fixative too, you know, just in case. And to make sure I had a nice color assortment, I got, more dye. And there's a project involving a dress, and I have a candidate here. I'm going to shop around a little bit more just to see if there's one I like better. But in the meantime, this is it. Also have a Rit all-purpose dye, which I'm not sure is the same as permanent dye, so I just need to do a little more research on this before I guess commit or go into using it, or just might hold on to it anyway. and the beeswax for there's a project in here that involves beeswax and making food covers, so I need to do a little looking in on, I need to do a little research on this before I commit to it. So yeah. And yep, that's what I have so far. Still a few more essentials I need to get, and I need to set up my table and clear space, and might actually just do some of the either the pom-poms or the tassels or the macrame this weekend. We'll see. Alright, day 4. I'm exhausted. Not from this project, just from work. I did make a rather large list of things that I still need to get. I did manage to find some shoes and something to use in lieu of one of the clothing sets wanted. Yeah, just a nice list of places to check out, one I can cross off. For some reason, socks are very hard to find. So, tomorrow, gonna get a few more things, hopefully set up the table, and I think at least get started on tassels for one of the projects. That way I'll have those ready to go. Not sure if I'll get to dye anything yet, but we'll see. Okay, here we are, day 5. I have my table set up. Ignore that pile of books over there, and that ugly gaming chair, and my lunch. Okay. Finally got my table up, and some more supplies, including some protective eyewear for when I do the bleaching ones. It's 58 cents. I had goggles, I figured glasses would be better. And so glad I could find this stuff. It's a slightly different fabric dye. Going with a different color than what's in the book, simply because of the color I'll be working with fabric-wise. The same thing, the color that was suggested in the book. Not really a fan for shibori. I'd prefer straight up indigo than denim. Alright, so this week, I'm gonna get crafty. Alright, what is it? It's day 5, or evening 5. Have some time, and I'm going to do a sort of tester now. Got a nice damp t-shirt to work with, and just one of the extra colors I have in one of these kits, and yeah, I'll put it together now. Oh, looks like I got it all. This color's called Aegean. Sort of a nice dark teal blue, or blue-green. Okay, so I'm going to do the second of the 2 patterns it has in the book. Just, again, as a nice little starter tester project. And this is the bunch method. So you got my gloves. Alright. Let's see. Flat into a mound. Bunch. Kneading dough. So apparently for bunching method you can use rubber bands or not use rubber bands. I'm going to use rubber bands. Let's see. Got it there. Got my dye-safe container. Oh, this is why we wear gloves. Yes, I'll put that on that paper towel I got there. Well, I might have enough for 2 for the other shirt I brought out. Alright. Alright, we'll do the spiral for this one. I don't even know if you can see this here. This is a good practice project. There goes my camera. Alright, slight angle change once the camera doesn't want to stay in its current setup, so do this carefully and quickly. There we go. So it's a good note to self. If doing multiples, do all the binding at the same time. This is why we test. Let's see if I can get some even wedges. So there's going to be a little dye in the odd wedges. But that's all from my inexperience and silliness. Yep. You know what? It's not perfect, that means it's mine. Oop. Let's mess that up. So that is the last of the Aegean. Cling wrap is fun. Just roll that around in some of the dye there. So, got my bunch and my spiral. These are going to sit basically overnight. And yeah, see these in the morning. Alright, day 6. About to rinse these out. This is what they're supposed to look like. Great, end of day 7. This is how first one popped out. It's through the bunching method. I'm honestly surprised the color change. It was a lot darker, and now it's definitely more green. This is after the wash. That or my soap is just too good. Yeah, I'm honestly I'm pretty impressed. I thought not bad for my first tie-dye. That's the back side. I don't know if it's hard to tell in this light, but yeah. A little less blue and a little more green to it. And here's the spiral. Not bad for my first attempt. I went the wrong direction, as you can see. Though in a reflection or a video, it might look correct. But yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.